Hey there, guys. This is Flamzeron, aka YouTube's Tasuke. This particular game has been out for a while, but and this is probably gonna piss off a few people who don't like phone games, but I've actually been playing Tales of Link kind of off and on, which I had heard about it. I even tried playing the Japanese version once I finally figured out how to get Japanese apps on your phone. You can maybe consider this the start of like a couple uh, mobile slash phone game videos because I actually do play some. I am of the mindset that phone games can be fun and that they kind of serve a bit of a different purpose than traditional gaming. But yeah, I've been playing Tales of Link because it actually came out in English, surprisingly, and I think it's available globally as well. I think also on Android and whatever else. I don't know about Windows Phone, or I don't even know if there's any like third party version you can get. I think it's on Google Play as well. I don't know hardly anything about uh, phone games. In fact, this is just going to be like if you even consider this a series, this is like a 4-part thing because like one of them I'm just going to like put together all the other phone games that I play. But for the first three, I'm just going to talk about like the bigger ones, maybe. Um, but yeah, Tales of Link. It had been out for a while in Japan, and it finally came out in English in North America. I think Tales of Asteria might also be in English. I think it's sort of like an Asian English. I think this is also kind of the case as well. Um, this game does use localization, accurate terminology. So read is spelled with the E. It's Stan and with the H instead of Stan. And it's also like Gar instead of Woodrow, Leon instead of Lion. Even you can make arguments about like the spelling and the kind of purpose that it serves. There's also they also kind of do a little bit of their own stuff. I believe I think Leon did Maji and Rangoku Satsu, I believe, or Satsu or whatever. And I think they called it Cleansing Inferno. If I'm thinking it's the right move, it might be something separate. I'd have to like look up. I know it's one of his mystic arts. I remember that for Rape Mythology they translated it as Infernal Suffering, which um I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the kanji is for that mystic art is written differently depending on who's using it, whether it be Leon or Judas. But anyway, for those who are actually interested in this game, it's basically like one of those like collectible hero games where you get a bunch of heroes in, and when the combat is you have to like match stuff up. But if you've played Dokkan Battle, it's kind of similar to that, which will be the next one. I'll probably say that that's like Tales of Link whenever I do that one. But this one I've actually played more. I don't really know why. You have to get heroes through hero stones, or you can get them through hero stones, and that's sort of where like the money comes in terms of how to get it. Like you can pay to like get hero stones, which I actually did once. Um, I really wanted to get Reed. They gave me Colette to start off with, so I used her, and that was a bit of a unfortunate thing. But I eventually got Lloyd and started using him, and then I finally got Reed. Um, I'd say next on my list to get is probably Ash. I also had Luger, but for some reason I think I accidentally deleted him while I was deleting some repeated characters, because sometimes you'll get the same characters that you already have, especially if you're like playing through the story mode and you get like a character that you've already gotten due to just constantly trying the hero stone thing. That happens a few times, but it is what it is. I guess I can't really do anything about it, so I'm gonna try to get Luger back as well, at least some version. I don't know, but in terms of the actual story, it's about some chick named Sarah trying to like do like these whatchamahoozits. I don't exactly remember what they're called. I do have the thingy open, so I guess I can uh look at it. you play as some other character, like some like silent protagonist that you get to name. I named him after me, so that was a thing. But you got pulled into the world so you could get help, cause you're all like, dog, help me. I need your soul. I need you to help me. You're apparently the savior, and you have amnesia. I imagine there's probably gonna be some big revelation, like it turns out that you are actually the king of the land, and you went to sleep and you forgot to wake up and you lost your memory because I don't fucking know. To be honest, I'm not too interested in the story. I'm only really doing a video just because. Um, but and also I took a hell of a lot of screenshots. I'm just like, I'm gonna use these fucking screenshots. I mean, it's not as much as the eventual Hearts R video whenever I get to that, because that's over like 2,000 pics, I think, but maybe even 3,000. But there are a fair amount of pics here. One thing that was kind of cool, I guess, was the Sword Art Online crossover, and I actually got Asuna from that as part of my crew. And there was another one that I think they did, something called Brave Frontier, where I think there was like some sort of cross promotion. You could get like the version of Mila in the style of a Brave Frontier character. So that was actually kind of cool, and I think this is definitely pretty useful for those who want to do crossovers with the Tales series. If they ever do one with Dragon Ball, that would be awesome. Which honestly, the tools are actually in place. Is the funny thing. Like there would just be some like art differences, but you know, I still think it looks it would be pretty cool. And plus, this game, it uses official art as well as just like different kind of art as well, as you've seen in the title screen that I have. I've got Reed there, but it's like his status art, but it's like all nicely remastered and whatnot, so it's not like newly drawn or anything. Whereas some of the other characters like Farah, they actually have some new material to work with, arguably. And of course, there is some new art. There are like different tiers of the characters, and you can get like different artwork of them. Like the Lloyd that I got was like his status one. That's the one I used, and then there was another one that I got where it's like a cool pose, and there's some where they're like two characters in one. Like I have one with Asbel and Sophie, and I also have one with Reed and Keel. Which, by the way, they were doing a thing where if you give them like your ID when you download the game, this was like when it first came out in English. You could get a special version of Sophie, and I apparently fucked up and I didn't get that version of Sophie. And this game is definitely very tough on giving you what you want, as you can imagine phone games are. All that stupid RNG bullshit. But besides that, you know, it's okay. It's a nice little diversion when you're playing, when you're like just out somewhere, or if you just want something to do something really quick. I don't really play it too much. I don't really plan on finishing it. This is more of like a brief my thoughts on kind of thing. In fact, I'm probably gonna call it my brief thoughts on Tales of Link. But I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, and I feel like as a Tales fan, I probably should, because it really actually shows how far this series has come, that we're actually getting a fucking phone game in English. I know phones are pretty common at this point, like smartphones are, so Namco was probably thinking, oh, we can make money by this, and, you know, that's cool. If it helps them, then that's good. If we get to play a little game, I'd like to play Tales of Asteria. I know it's basically just like one of those run games. So like, just play fucking Sonic Dash. I am playing Sonic Dash. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say about it. I mean, the original characters that show up occasionally are pretty cool to look at. The screenshots are there if you want to like look at stuff. It's free if you want to try it for yourself. But I can't really think of anything else to say. Besides, this game seems to flip-flop on whether or not Leon has his dagger or not. I'm like, if you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. How like when he's doing his Mystic Art, I'm pretty sure he has the dagger. But in like his gameplay chibi form, it shows him in a more daggerless stance. I think Judas was also available at one point. I think he might have been like a special character This game does include like costume characters. Like you'll see, I took a screenshot of Elise in her school uniform, which is a pretty cute costume. And I think I might have seen Sherry in her. There were school uniform costumes, some original ones too. Like there was Stan in one where he's got like the blazer and the shirt and tie, but he has a hoodie, and I thought that's pretty fitting for him. And I think the majority of them are used from other stuff. I think there was a comic strip, a short like comic strip where they were in like school uniforms, and I think maybe some of it takes from that. I'm not really sure. The source of all the images is kind of scattered. Like comes from the games. Some of them use like the character art. Some of it comes from like the Tales of Magic Card or Tales of Kizna or Card Evolve or the different card games that you could do. I don't think there were too many from Tales of Fandom Volume 2, which was very visual novel-y. So I guess that makes sense because the art in that was kind of eh. But the art is pretty good overall in this game. Like I said, though, because it all comes from different sources, there's a bit of varying quality and also varying techniques. Like, especially if you compare, like, one of the production IG arts to, like, the UFO table art. But, it's not bad. It is a phone game, so it's not going to be, like, super high quality, literature art or whatever. But it's not bad. I'll probably be playing it, if you happen to see me in like your friend list or like the list of people you can get help from, then that's pretty cool of you to use me. I didn't really think that sentence through. I kind of was making it up as I go, but yeah, not really anything too much to say about it. It's not bad, not bad. I imagine it helps an Namco out to play it, so okay, coolio. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So this is Flames Around, aka YouTube Tasuke, signing out. See you later.